Google out with another new announcement as the AI coding space heats up. Deirdre Bosa breaking the news here exclusively for today's Tech Check. Deirdre.
Hey, morning, Sarah. So Google is tapping vibe code startup Replit in a multi-year partnership. It means that Replit will lean further into Google Cloud, and Google stays Replit's primary cloud provider. Now, for Google, this is all about giving Gemini 3 a front door into how people are actually building software in the AI age. For Replit, this is about going up market, more of an enterprise footprint. Now, this isn't just a crowded space. This is one of the hottest in AI right now. Vibe coding is when you tell an AI what you want, and it simply writes the code for you. Now, Cursor, another big name, is exploding alongside Anthropics Cloud. OpenAI has built coding, its tool Codex, straight into GPT, and Microsoft still owns the installed base with GitHub Copilot. Now, Google has its own AI coding tools, but they aren't the starting point for most people building with AI. Replit arguably has the broadest funnel in vibe coding, the place where non-technical teams they go to build, which are increasingly the ones that are driving AI adoption inside of big companies, not necessarily the software engineers. So think marketing or finance staff trying to spin up internal AI tools all on their own. New data from...
And I'll say that a lot of engineers, they do not like these tools, but there are, if you go on X and you check out like the build in public communities, a lot of people who are not necessarily tech people, they're building out their platforms, their companies, and they're claiming, I don't know how true it is, but they're claiming that they are actually building SaaS softwares, getting a good amount of monthly returning revenue. How accurate, how true is that? I don't know. You can fake anything, right? But the non-tech people, they run into issues, of course, but they're able to get a good way towards their goals, their destinations, build MVPs, get users and stuff like that, without having that high barrier to entry to pay a software engineer or a firm tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're able to pay a percentage of the cost through, like, I mean, you see what we're doing here, right? The app, like, we're building mobile apps, we're building web apps, OBS plugins. Could probably build a desktop app if we wanted, right? So many different options that we have at our fingertips, but the software engineers, they do not like it yet. But if they were to embrace it, their productivity level would be out of this world. I'm telling you, all right?
Ramp, it shows that Replit had the fastest new customer growth among software vendors last month. Google, meanwhile, is adding new customers and spend faster than any other company on Ramp's platform. So you put those two together, you get a clearer picture of why both companies see an opportunity here. Now, all of this, guys, sets the stage for Gemini 3, a model that is putting pressure on OpenAI, but still needs real distribution to actually matter. Most people, they won't just switch because a benchmark says.
Distribution. I mean, the AI game, it's like the dope game, right? They have the best product, but they need distribution. So they're gonna tap into Kilo. They're gonna tap into Replit. They're probably gonna tap into OpenLovable, to all these providers, maybe into Kiro. Who knows? And it says, let me be your distribution point. Sell our products. Push our product. Replit, they're pretty. Let's go real quick. Let me see. Replit. I never used Replit before. Replit, turn your ideas into apps. Make me a business tool for business executives that helps schedule, track clients, meetings efficiently. So Replit is more like a Lovable, a Make.com, a create anything.com or anything.com pricing. $20 per month if you pay per year, $25 per month. 3 full agent access, create apps and automation, autonomous app testing. But they're not like so they're not. All right, so what Google needs to do, they need to be the foundation for one of these platforms, which is going to be for Replit. But then they also need to be the foundation for one of the coding assistant platforms, right? So Cursor, Copilot. They need to become the foundation for one of those, for like the same way that Cursor, whoever Cursor uses, maybe they use Claude. So they need to become the foundation.
That they should. Replit gives at least the coding part of Gemini 3 an access into real world, not just research labs. Guys, I will speak exclusively to Google Cloud President Matt Renner and Replit CEO Amjad Masad shortly. Be sure to tune into our second Tech Check segment for their color on the deal.
Dee, meantime, I'm wondering what you make of Dario Amodei. He's been so outspoken about AI's impact and the future on employment. And then, of course, yesterday taking it to unnamed rivals who he argues are YOLOing through this process.
That is a great thing to bring up, because in our last segment, after our next working segment, we're going to end up with going through some of the stuff that Jensen Huang said in his interview with Joe Rogan. Or I'll say a conversation, because Joe Rogan doesn't do interviews, he does conversations.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, the space that Anthropic plays in the AI landscape is so interesting. They're the safety guys, right? They basically left, Dario and his sister left OpenAI so that they could develop AI responsibly. That was sort of the early era of this race, but now it's sort of growth at all costs. And so he hasn't in here to say or imply maybe that some are spending irresponsibly, or it's FOMO, where, you know, they have a proposition to increasingly enterprise AI and safe AI. And both of those go hand in hand, right? Enterprise wants to make sure that their AI is being developed responsibly. So it was very in tone what we hear from him. The thing that I thought was interesting, Carl, was how he talked about these scaling laws. It's been a debate for many months now, I think a year in the AI space. We were talking about this first last year at this time, about how maybe we have maxed out, we've hit a wall, and that the models aren't going to get like hugely smarter, just incrementally smarter. And what he said is that there's still a lot of room to go. Weighing in on that debate, it feels to be heading that way. So maybe in the next year, it shows us that we could get some major breakthroughs.
Is vibe coding, I'm just thinking, going through the vibe coding part of the story, is that like a euphemism for not having human software engineers anymore?
Yeah, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. You code based on vibe. So you tell the chatbot, this is the app that I want to create. It has to feel this way. It has to do this. And the AI just goes and does it for you. Also known as AI first coding. And this is just a huge industry, right? You see it within all the major tech companies. Engineers relying on AI to actually code for them, but you still have to be fairly sophisticated. What Replit does is actually lets like consumers and non-technical teams vibe code themselves. So like if you're in sales or marketing, you could say, I need this application to interact with my customers. Can you create it for me? They can actually like create their own software.
So the question that that was posed to her was not a great question. Her answer at first, I was like, eh, but then she kind of ended up all right. So the question was bad, because vibe coding does not mean that there are not going to be any software engineers left, because you still need people to direct it, and it helps you go instrumentally faster if you know it's all based on the prompt that you put in. Now, in the last part of the explanation about, oh, well, it enables like sales teams to do whatever, that like it can, but it's very, very minimal. Like what I learned building out some of my apps, like especially my content creation app, the more context that you have on a field or industry, the better that it's going to do. So let's do this real quick. So in my content creation assistant app, right, I have, go to your channel. Let's go to videos. So one of the things that I built into my app was, so it has a thumbnail creator, right? And it's been going through so many different iterations of creating the thumbnails. And I'm gonna give you a comparison, right? So let's take a look at this thumbnail right here, right? Which this is the CEO of Google, generated by AI. This is the founder, I think Andrew Ng of Google Brain. This is what's his name? So Google founder again. This is Tim Cook, Google CEO Tim Cook, right? But if we go down to this right here, and this, so these thumbnails right here, right? They were created using a particular model. And then this one over here is when I started using a different model, because I wrote a prompt saying, I'm using Runware to generate my thumbnails, and Runware has a bunch of, so basically Runware is an API, like they have APIs where you can connect to a bunch of different models, but I'm not very aware of what all those different models can do. So I told it, can you research the different Runware models that are going to be good for generating realistic images of certain people? So while this one is like kind of crazy, right? And let me see if I can find, like, so this was terrible. This was supposed to be Stephen A, but pretty bad, right? But it was getting better. It was getting better in its generation. Like this one was terrible, right? But it's getting better in its generation. And I had AI research Runwares to see what's going to be the best models. So now in the app, it's all right. I want to create a subject, and I can choose a subject. I can choose the expression that they're doing, and I can also say, all right, use this model, which is going to give a very realistic image of this particular person, right? So that's why you'll have this image right here look really like, so this one, it'll look really like zooming on it maybe. Oh, that's not gonna work. It'll look really like the actual person, and not like you can see the difference. Like this is a good one, right? But you can see the difference between the quality of the generation, you know? So that was like, those are the iterations going through getting the thumbnail generated and stuff like that, right? So it's a process. It is a process that you just keep going through iterations. But if you think on your very first attempt of your prompt is going to be perfect, absolutely not. So, but that's how the learning game goes. That is how the learning game
They think
goes.
the machine
Right?
never break. Sometimes the battery hit red. I ain't stopping, I'm just rebooting. Why the bounce back? Go! Eyes heavy like I'm lifting weight with my eyelid. Brain foggy, feeling like I'm stranded on an island. Coffee pot empty and the energy is silent. Fighting with the demons in my head, getting violent. Staring at the screen, but the progress isn't moving. Spinning on the wheels, tell me what am I proving? Body aching, bad breaking, losing all the grooving. Every single step feels like I'm just losing. Working 24, but the needle barely nudging. Feel like I'm a hammer, but the wall isn't budging. Burn on creepy, yeah, the shadow is a trudging. Doubters on the sideline, yeah, they always judging. Is it worth the stress? Is it worth the hypertension? Did I make the turn? Did I lose the dimension? Need a little break, need a little intervention before I crash out and I lose the retention. Man, I'm feeling fried, sucker to your sizzling. Vision getting blurry and the rain start drizzling. Plus I'm feeling heavy, motor vision and fizzling. Waiting for the steak, but I don't hear the sizzling. But I can't quit, now I can't to the flag. Even when I'm dragging and I'm feeling like a rag. Got too many gold packed inside the bag. Gotta push through even when I hit the lag. Just need a minute, just need to close the blinds. Disconnect the server, disconnect the lines. Lay the head down, let the body unwind. So I can wake up and get back on the grind. I'm burned out, but I ain't bowed out. No, just need a nap, then I'm back on the route. Hold the high for a second, shut the world out. Wake up a beat, scream and shout. I can let them see me lose, I can give them that. They waiting on the crumble, waiting on the splat. My job is too big, yeah, I'm taking it back. Just a power nap, then I'm back on attack. They sit in the stands with a pot popcorn ready. Praying at my knees, but hoping I ain't steady. Wanna see the downfall, wanna see it messy. Wanna see me crash like a stolen Chevy. I see the side eyes, hear the whispers in the dark. Waiting for the flame to extinguish the spark. They wanna see the dog loot a bite in the bark. But I'm a gray white swimming like a shark. If I quit now, man, they win the whole game. If I slow down, they gon' tarnish the name. Gotta feed the fire, gotta feed the flame. Satisfaction that they seek is a damn shame. I ain't gon' give it to them, never gon' fold. Story of my fair is a story never told. My desire to win is worth my goal. Bigger than the hate that they tryna hold. So I take a rest, yeah, I hit the pillow hard. Reboot the system, pull the ace from the car. Keep the haters locked out, stand in the yard. While I recharge the battery and lower down the guard. Just for an hour, let the new runs reset. Wake up cleaner than I ever been yet. Ready for the war, ready for the threat. Gonna make them pay every single little debt. They want me to crumble, they want me to crack. But I bounce back like a rubber on the track. Sleep is the weapon, get the mind intact. Then I hit the gas, never looking back. I'm burned out, but I ain't bowed out. No, just need a nap, then I'm back on the route. Close the eyes for a second, shut the world out. Wake up a beat, scream and shout. I can let them see me lose, I can give them that. They waiting on the crumble, waiting on the splat. My drive is too big, yeah, I'm taking it back. Just a power nap, then I'm back on attack. Okay, I'm up now, wipe the crust the eye. Looking in the mirror, no more disguise. Demon on my shoulder, yeah, he finally died. Energy is peaking, reaching for the sky. Thought I was dumb and you must be crazy. Thought the burnout meant that I was getting lazy. Vision was blurry, now it ain't hazy. Pushing up Daisy, now I'm pushing Mercedes. Word didn't change, but the mind stay with flip. Got a new Mac and I put in a clip. Haters looking sick, yeah, they starting to trip. Watching me and sin while they sinking in the ship. Progress was slow, now I'm moving like speed. Planting whole forest when I planted the seed. Satisfy the want, satisfy the need. Made the competition turn around and bleed. I do this for the win, I don't do it for the likes. Coming up the mountain while you riding on trikes. Heading for the top, yeah, I'm planning the strikes. Running up the score, yeah, I'm racking up strikes. Turning the engine, failure's not an option. Turning every obstacle into adoption of a new method. Yeah, I'm swapping in, I'm copying. Only thinking is the records that I'm popping. Burnout was a lie, it was just a little test. Put a head down, got a little bit of rest. Now I'm back stronger, pounding on the chest. Put me to the trial and I asked the question. Yeah, I'm wide awake now. You shouldn't have blinked.